Hi, it's Jen again, and today I'm wearing red lipstick and black teardrop earrings. And I want to talk to you about something that you might not be aware of. Are you listening? I want to tell you that the first step to finding balance in your life is knowing what you're feeling and being okay with it. Are you feeling frustrated? Are you feeling frightened? Are you feeling disappointed, angry? Knowing what you're feeling and connecting with those feelings is the first step toward finding balance. So whatever you're feeling, the good, the bad, the ugly, be okay with it. Don't waste your time telling yourself you shouldn't feel that way or it's not okay to feel that way. What you feel is what you feel, and you can't control that. What you can control is what you do about that emotion or that feeling. Sometimes we humans want to say, I'm too tough to feel that way, or I should be grateful for all that I have. I shouldn't feel disappointed or angry, when in fact, you cannot control your emotional response. You cannot control what you are feeling. You can only control how you respond to it. So be honest with yourself about what you're feeling, and don't beat yourself up about it. And if you're embarrassed, then don't tell anyone. Your life, your business. So why is it important to know what you're feeling? Because when you are in touch with what's going on in your head and your heart, that is when you do your best problem solving. I'll give you an example. Last winter here in Maine, I wanted to walk out on a frozen lake that is near my home. It's something that I love to do in Maine in the winter time because, well, for blind folks, there are no obstacles on a frozen lake, or very few, if any, maybe an ice shack, right? So I put on my 10 pounds of snow gear and I got ready to go. But what I did was dub around in the house, really working up a sweat, right? I was wearing my snow pants and my boots and my mittens and my hat, and I decided maybe I needed to throw in a load of laundry. And while I was at it, why didn't I sweep the kitchen floor, etc., until finally I stopped and I said, okay, what's really going on here? And what was going on was that I was afraid. And the reason I was afraid is because the previous winter, I had gone walking out on this very same lake, which is fairly large, and I had gotten turned around. Not hard to do. If you've ever walked on a frozen lake in the wintertime, then you know it's very quiet. There are no real landmarks, no real obstacles, but no real landmarks either. So once I acknowledged to myself that I was afraid, mind you, I didn't tell anybody else. That was when I began to problem solve. Okay, I really want to do this, but I am afraid. So what can I do to make this workable for me? And here's what I came up with. I placed wind chimes on a branch nearby the lake. Where I entered the lake, I had some wind chimes because there was a slight breeze blowing. I repurposed this ridiculous thing that I normally put in my garden that supposedly beeps and keeps away moles, though I've never actually seen it work for that. But it is solar powered, and I planted it again where I entered the lake because it beeps, and I was able to hear the beep. When I stepped out on the lake, I listened just in case there were other sounds of perhaps a distant vehicle, sound of somebody else's wind chime. I also felt the position of the sun on my face, because if you pay attention, you can feel the sun warming either the back of your head, the side of your head, your front of your face, and I knew I wouldn't be walking for hours and hours. So knowing the position of the sun was actually a good guide for getting me home. I also carried my cell phone in my pocket in case I got turned around again. These are just some of the examples of ways that I was able to problem solve and to work through that fear but I wouldn't have gotten to the problem-solving point if I hadn't first acknowledged that I'm scared. And it's okay to be scared, right? We're human. So, do you get what I'm saying here? Recognizing what's going on in your heart as well as your head is the first step toward finding balance, the first step toward finding workarounds for the challenges you face. Again, I didn't beat myself up, even though I had walked on that lake, I tell you, probably 50 times before. And I didn't beat myself up for getting turned around, lost, being afraid, none of that. Why? It wouldn't serve any purpose. It's not productive, right? So try to know what's going on in your heart and your head and be okay with it. That is a good step toward finding balance and finding solutions. You got this. This is Jen signing off. Bye.